Hello, everyone, and welcome. Yes, I hope we will have a good lesson, a successful lesson, a useful lesson today. Yes, but let me make a clarification. In the previous video, although I told that we would study adverbs and adjectives, then by mistake I started the past perfect tense video, and we studied it in the previous one. But today, yes, we'll do it today. Today we are going to study the adverbs that modify adjectives. Yes, in general, let me remind it again. Adjectives describes nouns, adverbs describes verbs, but adverbs also describe, also characterize, also qualify the adjectives. Okay. Yes, now without wasting time, let me share the presentation of adverbs and adjectives, and let's study that presentation. Okay, about adverbs and adjectives. Okay, so this is trip 5. Okay, but unfortunately, maybe it was also necessary, or it was also useful, because we immediately summarized the used to, which was the subject of the previous one. So let's do our normal study now. Okay, trip 5, adverbs also modify adjectives. For example, important question, okay, or quite important question. Here, important is adjective, but quite is adverb. Very important question, very is adverb. So important question, so is adverb. Extremely important question, extremely is adverb. Really important question, highly important question. Yes, highly also means, but from the point of pronunciation, it is highly means in Turkish. Yes, highly means very much. Yes, highly important question, incredibly important question, or before comparatives. You know this, we studied this. For example, much cheaper, much taller. Yeah, like this. Or for the multi-syllable adjectives, much more comfortable, for example, much more expensive. Yes. So much more important question. Okay, important question, much more important question. More important question, much more important question. Much here is adverb. Okay. With an example sentence, you can apply this example, all of them. I mean, you can use all the other very, so, extremely, etc., in place of quite. A quite important question requires a quite important answer, naturally. Okay, those two children, let's take a look at them. The children are careful drivers. This is the known, usual form of adjectives. Yeah, the children are careful riders, careful people, careful individuals, careful cyclists. Yes. What about this one? They ride their bikes carefully. Careful is here adverb because it describes ride. The verb They ride their bicycles carefully. One of them is tall, but the other one is quite tall. So quite is also adverb here because it defines the adjective tall. Okay. Yes, trip 5, quite, very, so, much comparative. Yes, two, adjective. Okay. Oliver is quite short. What about Tuncay? Tuncay is very short. What about Orhan? Orhan is so short. What does Marco look like? Marco is much shorter than Oliver. What about Salih? Salih is too short. Yes, these are all adverbs before adjectives. Okay, all right. Let's go on to the other page. Dialogue 2. Dialogue 1, this is dialogue 2. A, the first bicycle is quite old. What is your opinion about the second bicycle? What do you think about it? What is your opinion? May I have your opinion about the second bicycle? The second bicycle is very old. What is your opinion about the third bicycle? The third bicycle is much older, okay, than the first one. What is your opinion about the fourth bicycle? It is too old. Okay. Yes, by the way, let me remind, this too has a negative meaning. It is too old, so it isn't worth buying. It is too old. It isn't worth buying. We shouldn't buy it. Okay. Dialogue 3, the blue stick is quite thick. What do you think about the brown stick? The brown stick is very thick. What do you think about, or what do you think of the black stick? The black stick is much thicker than the blue one. What do you think about the green stick? The green stick is too thick. So we can't play tip cat, for example, with the blue stick. It is too thick. Now here is a nice GIF. What's it like? Okay, what's it like to play with this stick now? It is also possible to ask, what's it like playing with a thick stick, for example? But in general, to give a general message, to give a general meaning, we use gerund after what's it like, okay? What's it like waking up early? What's it like learning English? What's it like walking in the mornings? Yes, what's it like going fishing, etc., etc. But for the moment, for specific moments, now, right now, for example, what's it like to play with this stick? Okay, what does the GIF say? And I'll tell you what I am gonna do with this stick. What? What will you do with it? What are you going to do with it? I am gonna give it to you. Wow, thank you. That's very kind of you. Okay. Now again, quite, very, so, much, too. These are all adverbs, and except for two, the others have a positive meaning. Yes. For example, if something is expensive, when we say it is quite expensive, the degree increases, a little increases. But when we say it is very expensive, so it increases more. The quality of being expensive increases, okay? So expensive means, again, very, very expensive. Much more expensive means, again, the degree increases, the quality or the characteristic of the adjective increases. But when we say when we say it is too expensive, means we cannot buy it. Okay. It is not worth buying. Okay. Now, dialogue 4. The first way, there are vases on the right. Okay. The first vase is quite expensive. What do you think of the second vase? The second vase is very expensive. Yes, you can do that kind of exercises like this. What do you think of the third vase? The third vase is much more expensive than the first one. What do you think of the fourth vase? The fourth vase is too expensive. Okay. Again, dialogue 5. This chair is quite heavy. What's wrong with this table? It is very heavy. What's wrong with this motorbike? It is much heavier, or it is much more heavy. Both are correct. Okay, much heavier than the chair. What's wrong with this car? It's too heavy. Yes, it's too heavy. Okay, the sixth one. This meal is very salty. What's that meal? What's that meal like? What's it like? What's that? What is that meal? What's that meal like? How is that meal? Yes, what's it like? It's so salty. What's it like? It is too salty, or it is very delicious. It is very tasty. It is so nice. It is so spicy, so oily, so fatty, very greasy, quite greasy, fatty. Okay. Now, adverbs also modify adjectives, as we said before. Quite, very, so much, older, too. Okay, before one-syllable adjectives, we use just much and the comparative. Much older, much younger, much newer, much hotter, much colder, much pretty, etc., etc. Okay, but we can use all of them. For example, quite old, quite cheap, quite rich, quite poor, very rich, so poor, so rich, much richer, much poorer, too poor, yeah, too rich, okay, etc. Too clean, very clean, so clean. With one syllable adjectives, we can use all those adverbs. Yes, very close, very near, very weak, very strong, quite warm, quite cool, etc., etc. Large, very large, so large. Funny, very funny, quite funny, much funnier or much more funny, okay, etc., etc. Yes, with adjectives more than one syllable, for example, expensive, famous, quite famous, very famous, so famous, much more famous, of course, much more uncomfortable, much more beautiful, yes, much more interesting. The film is much more interesting than the book. Okay, dangerous, popular, modern, terrifying, etc., etc. Attractive, very attractive, so attractive, delicious, doubtful, complicated, excited, clever, very clever, quite clever, so clever, simple, narrow, etc., etc. These are uh, uh, as a bunch of adjectives for you to use those adverbs before them to define, describe, or modify them, to qualify them. Okay. Adjectives which are formed from nouns and verbs. For example, comfort, comfortable. Yes. Accidental, reluctant, popular. Okay, imaginary, imagine is verb, for example. Imaginary is adjective. So we can say very imaginary, quite imaginary, so imaginary, too imaginary, yes, passionate, passion, dependent, picturesque, cool, careful, Italian. Italian is also adjective. For example, Marco is very Italian. Yes. Okay, horrible, very bad, horrible. Historic, historical, victorious, childish, childlike, racist, attractive, quite attractive, very attractive, so attractive, etc., etc. For example, this picture is very attractive, but that picture is so attractive. It's careless, businesslike, friendly, compulsory, dangerous, wholesome, lucky. Yes, life journey is a never-ending story. A never-ending story. Learning English is also a never-ending story. These are called compound adjectives. Yes, never-ending. A never-ending story. A broken down car. A 2-day seminar. Okay, a 10-minute break. An air-conditioned room. Learned English is a plus for you. Learned English, learned is adjective. Learned English is a plus, is an advantage for you. A well-paid job, for example. A well-paid job. Isn't there air conditioning in this room? Isn't this room air conditioned? Yes, this room is air conditioned. It is an air conditioned room. So air conditioned is adjective. Let's go on. Now certain adjectives with the as plural. This is really interesting. For example, old man, old car, yes, old doctor is adjective, but if you put the in front of it, before it, it becomes plural, okay? The old, in general, all the old people, okay? The old means all the old people. The young is also like this. The young people, it means. There is no need to say people, doctors, teachers, okay. If you are talking about designers, for example, you say the young can achieve this goal, for example. The young means what? The young designers, okay. The rich, all the rich people in the world, we can describe, we can express it with the adjective the rich. Okay, so the rich means the rich. When we put the in front of this adjective, as you know, adjectives don't take the, nouns take the article the. But if you put that kind of adjectives before that kind of adjectives, if you put the, it becomes a plural noun. The rich are comfortable, for example. The rich are healthy. Do you think that the rich are healthy, happy? Okay. The poor, the elderly, okay? The elderly, the old people again. It also means the elderly people. The disabled, the homeless, the battle scarred, the injured people, the injured people are there. Let's take care of them, for example. The injured people. It means the injured people. Yes, the traumatized, the lazy, the strong, the weak. Okay, some adjectives. This is also a detail. This is, in fact, information about an advanced level. Okay, it is. They are always like this. Some adjectives never come before a noun, okay? For example, the child is afraid. We can say that the child is afraid. This is like this. We cannot put afraid before the noun child, okay? For example, we can say clever child, but we cannot say, we cannot describe a child with afraid like this, okay? Alike, for example. His father and Ahmed are alike. This is like this, alive. His father is alive, alone. Is he alone? Yes, he is alone. Ashamed, asleep, content, glad, ill. We can say he is a happy doctor, okay, but we cannot use glad, although it means the same. Glad and happy are the same, but we cannot put glad before before a noun. Okay. For example, we can say he is a happy doctor, but we cannot give the same message with glad. Okay. We just say that doctor is happy. Okay. Ill. Okay. That doctor is ill too, for example. Okay. Now, afraid. Now that because we cannot put afraid before a noun, but we can put the synonyms of it before a noun. Instead of, for example, afraid, we can say frightened doctor, okay? Frightened child, fearful child, terrified child, okay? Yes, these are also frightened and terrified, also in passive form, verb 3, and as an adjective, for example. We can use them as an adjective. Look at that frightened child. Okay. Yes, we can use those alternatives if we want to use as an adjective in front of a noun. Alike, for example, like, similar question. For example, would you like to ask a similar question? Similar to, akin to, analogous to, or with. Alive means living. Yes. Lively, vital, vivid. Alone, lonely, deserted, abandoned, solitary, single. Ashamed, embarrassed, shamed is enough. Asleep, sleeping, sleepy, content or contented. Yes. That child is content, but he is a contented child. Serene, comfortable, thankful, satisfied child is also possible. Okay. Glad, as I said before, glad means, as you know, happy and pleased. But we can say only he is a happy child, he is a pleased child. Pleased is, again, passive structure from the passive structure. Yes, but also adjective and verb 3. Ill means a patient as a noun and sick as an adjective. We can say that child is a patient, he is a patient, but that child is sick and ill is possible, but he is a sick child is possible. We cannot put ill in place of sick in the last sentence. Okay. When a noun is used as an adjective, yes, it is also like in Turkish. For example, wooden table, yes, stone wall, yes. So when a noun is used as an adjective, it is always singular. This is a significant, important detail. For example, we can say stone walls, okay? We cannot make stone plural. We must use the singular form of it, okay? An iron bar, okay? Iron is noun, bar is noun, an iron bar here, iron is used as an adjective, as you know. Evening classes, yes. Morning classes. Online classes, wool shirts, a 3-week holiday, the 4-hour journeys, yes, the 4-hour journeys. Okay, present participle, verb ing, yes, gerund, present participle means verb ing, and past participle means verb 3. Let me write verb ing here. Present participles in parentheses like this. Verb ing. Okay. The participles means verb ing, And the past participles, verb 3, yes, they are also adjectives. Verb ing is also adjective. Verb 3 is also adjective. Crying baby, for example. Crying baby. Sold car. Yes, sold car. Explain problem. Solved problem. Okay. Singing boy. Walking man. Yes, they are also adjectives. Let me read it from the beginning. Present participles and past participles can be used as adjectives. Yes, we know this. And this point is very important. Yes, please listen to it carefully. I thought about this situation very much before writing it. Yes, okay. If something, okay, if something, this is called experience, if an event, if an action, if something is exciting or or if an object, anyway, if something is exciting, tiring, okay, boring, terrifying, these are active towards uh, external, yes, towards external, not internal. Outside, towards outside, they are active, okay? If something is exciting, another thing, for example, yeah, towards outside. If something is tiring, if something is boring, terrifying, interesting, amazing, appalling, frightening, surprising, exhausting, confusing, disappointing, yes, disturbing, scaring, affecting, we are, okay, or we feel, we get. Now this is passive. This is towards inside. We are excited. If something is exciting, we are excited. If something is tired, we are tiring, sorry. If something is tiring, if something is tiring, we are tired. If something is boring, we are bored. If something is terrifying, we are terrified. If something is exciting, we are excited. If something is boring, terrifying, interesting, amazing, we are amazed. This is really important. This is really a key, in fact, to understand the passive voice as well. Yes. And present participles and past participles and adjectives. They are also used as adjectives. As I said, for example, exciting film, okay, adjective, exciting child, running child, crying child, yes. Terrifying film, amazing film. So amazed person, we are amazed. If something is confusing, we are confused. If something is worried, we are worried. If something is annoying, we are annoyed. Yes, if something is disappointing, what happens? We are disappointed. If something is scaring, we are scared. If something is affecting, we are affected. Yes. What is exciting and who is excited? Let's answer this question. What is exciting and who is excited? The butterfly, for example, or the bee is exciting for a child, and the child is excited. Why is the child excited? Because he has seen an exciting butterfly. Okay, I'll put there a butterfly. Okay. An exciting butterfly. Because of the beauty of butterfly is exciting. It radiates scatters beauty. So we are excited because of that beauty. The child is excited because of the beauty of that butterfly. Okay, I think it's clear. For example, what does the puppet say? He says, so excited for this. So excited means I am so excited. Yeah, I am very excited. I am quite excited. I am extremely excited. I am so excited for this. Yes, I am highly excited. Okay. Why are you getting excited? What is the reason? Why are you getting excited? I am getting excited because the show is getting exciting. Don't you see? And our English is getting exciting. Yes, our English is getting exciting. So we are getting excited day by day towards the advanced level. Okay. So again, if something is, for example, if something is startling, we are startled. Everybody is startled. Okay. Dialogue 7. A. I feel relaxed. I feel comfortable. Yes, just like it is, although it is passive, although it is past participle verb 3, it is also adjective, just like I feel comfortable. I feel happy. Yeah. I feel relaxed in the countryside because the countryside is relaxing. Let me write it there. Yes. I feel relaxed in the countryside. Why? Because the countryside is always, yes, is naturally, let me not write naturally, but it is true because the countryside is exciting. Exciting. Yes, this is the reason. Because the countryside is active, okay? Active. So I am passive now. I feel relaxed in the countryside. Sorry. I feel relaxed in the countryside because countryside is relaxing. Yes, I think it's okay. Yes, the countryside is relaxing. Where or when do you feel relaxed? I feel relaxed if the music is relaxing. Okay. Okay. Now, why are there two words? Ruly means as an adjective, okay, ruly, very obedient. Okay, ruly, obedient, and compliant. Okay, those drivers comply with the rules. Yes, they comply with the rules. They obey the rules. They are more or less similar. Okay, they have more or less the same meaning. Okay, rule. The drivers comply with the rules means the drivers obey the rules. Okay, they are ruly, they are obedient, they are obedience, and they are compliance. They are, sorry, no S. They are compliant, they are obedient, they are ruly. Okay. Those drivers obey the rules. Yes. Comply with the rules means they obey the rules. They are ruly or obedient or compliant. They are ruly. They are ruly drivers. They aren't unruly drivers. Okay. They are compliant drivers. They aren't uncompliant or incompliant drivers. Really, one L or two L's? I think there must be two L's, really. Okay, but what about this unruly? Okay, let me put one L. If it is wrong, I will change it, correct it later at the end of the video. Okay. Yes, is it clear? Yes, I think it's clear. Compliant is adjective, ruly is adjective, obedient is adjective. They are compliant drivers. They comply with. Comply with. We use it always with. Okay. They always comply with the rules. Rules and ruling. Okay. Adjectives and adverbs again. 8. They are careful horse riders. They can ride carefully. What can you say about those drivers? They are happy. They are happy drivers. They drive their cars happily. Okay. Comfortable drivers. They drive their cars comfortably. Yes. Okay. Adverbs of manner is the response to how, as you know. Yes. Meli is a happy child. He can play with his toy happily. How? How can he play with his toy? He can play with his toy happily or interestingly. He can play with his toy amazingly. Okay. How is Rafet? How can he play with his toys? He can play with his toys seriously. Seriously. Play. Rafet can play with his toys seriously. Okay, yes. Some adverbs of manner. Yes, here is a list of adverbs of manner that define the verb of the sentence. Happily, cheerfully, eagerly, willingly, yes, practically, fluently, anxiously, blindly, hungrily, honestly. For example, first and foremost, we must learn English accurately. This is a fact. Practically and fluently, harmoniously, yes, with time. First, accurately, practically, and fluently. So we must learn English harmoniously. These are also adverbs of manner. Yes. Dialogue 10a. That small child is cheerful. He even walks cheerfully. How is his mother? His mother is a hopeful mother, so she takes care of his child hopefully. Yes. She looks after his child hopefully. She is interested in his child hopefully. Okay. She guards his child hopefully. She trains his child hopefully. She nurtures is a beautiful word, both physically and spiritually. She nurtures and she feeds. Yes, she feeds her child hopefully, both physically and spiritually. Okay. Dialogue 11a. My friend is eager. Adjective. My friend is eager. He can ask questions eagerly. How is your friend? My friend is energetic. He works energetically or energetical. Both are adjectives. Yes. My friend is active. He works actively. My friend is dynamic. He even plays football dynamically. He is always dynamic. Dialogue 12. This is Kıraç, Turkish rock music singer. Kıraç is a good singer. Good is adjective. He can sing well. Irregular adverb. Okay? He can sing well. Adverb of manner. Yeah. How? The answer of the question, how? How can he sing? He can sing well. Who is a dynamic singer? Who can sing dynamically? Rafet El-Roman is a dynamic singer and he can sing dynamically. Rafet El-Roman is a pop singer in Turkey. Now, again, let's focus our attention on adverbs of manner especially. Okay, it is a paragraph as a context. Okay. 13. The little girl Nancy is very pretty. She plays prettily in the garden. Suddenly, help, help, help me, she shouts loudly. There is a loud noise and it starts raining heavily. There is a sudden heavy rain. She begins to run towards the hut. I think it's so easy. I hope it's also useful to acquire and to get to know, identify the adverbs of manner. Okay. Now 14. To be fair, again, a similar paragraph to show the adverbs, especially to show the adverbs of manner. Okay. To be fair, to be honest, yes, to be fair, Henry is a fair person, is a just person, objective person. He is free from exaggerating or exaggeration. He treats his children and pupils fairly and equally. He does not let his negative feelings affect his opinions and decisions. Okay, so fairly, equally are adverbs of manner. Cruelty is noun, negativity is noun, pessimism and optimism are nouns. Realistic is adjective, but realistically, adverb. Logical, adjective. Logically, adverb. Let's speak logically, for example. Ahmed speaks logically. Ahmed always speaks logically. Okay, 15. It is hard or it is difficult to understand and solve psychological problems. First of all, yes, you should concentrate on the problem very hard. Then you should identify it attentively. What can you say about environmental problems? Yes, it is. Again, we can read the same. It is hard, difficult to understand and solve environmental problems. First of all, you should concentrate on the problem very hard. Adverb here, okay? Irregular. Then you should identify it attentively and you should set up an implementation plan and you should apply that plan, implement the steps of that plan to solve environmental problems. Okay. Now, yes, when we think or when we imagine adverbs, let not only adverbs of manner come to our mind, okay? There are also adverbs of place and adverbs of time. You know them, in fact, yes. In, for example, a preposition, in, come in the house, for example, okay? Go to the theater, for example, yes. Here, come here, here is also adverb. Go there, yes. Go away from the dog, okay? Go away from that dog, that fierce dog. Above, over, across, outside, go outside, outside here is adverb. Yes, go upstairs, for example. Go upstairs, upstairs is adverb. Come down, go down the street, for example. Near, go near the river. Okay. Stand or stay next to Ahmed, below, nowhere, abroad, apart. These are all, as you know, adverbs. Yes. Somewhere. I will go somewhere. For example, I will go somewhere. It is just like I will go to Istanbul. Okay. Yes. Under, through, upstairs. Go upstairs. Go downstairs. Up, the upstairs and downstairs are adverbs. Okay. On, stay on the table. Okay. Now, above or over, there are clouds above the tree. This is a tree, and there are clouds above the tree. They don't touch, okay? They don't touch the tree. He is jumping over the fence. He is jumping over the fence. So above versus over. In this situation, we use he is jumping over the fence. Adverbs of time, you know this, yes, in the response to when. Now, for example, now we are learning English now. Today we are going to study future tenses. Yes, all the future tenses in the following video, in the second video. Okay, tomorrow tomorrow, yes, is also adverb clause of adverb expression, adverbs of time in the response to when, yes, adverb time expression, adverb or time expression of adverbs tomorrow. Yesterday, yes, yesterday I made the video of the presentation 256, okay, but I had to make 255. This is the video of the presentation 255. I had to make it yesterday, but we are doing it today. So today is here adverb of time, adverb expression of time. Okay. And recently, after, before, early, late, immediately, once, etc. These are all adverbs of time, expressions of adverbs of time. Okay. Now, adverbs of degree in the response to how much. How much? Yes, you know them. Almost, hardly, scarcely, absolutely, totally, highly, incredibly, significantly, completely, extremely, entirely, fairly. Yes. They also show degree. Okay. Ahmed Bey absolutely found a job, for example. Yes. Totally knew the answers. Yasemin totally knew the answers. You have highly good and useful information about English, for example. You are completely right. Okay. You are right. You are very right. You are quite right. You are so right. You are completely right. A really important questions. So let me delete here. Yes, because the question plural. So really important questions. Sorry. Okay, really important questions require, want, need really important answers. Yeah. Okay. Or very important questions require very important answers with this one. These are all adverbs. Now, heading 5, adverbs of frequency is the response to how often, how frequently, to what extent. We studied, in fact, in Harmony 1, in level 1, we studied all of them. Yes, always. Ahmet Bey always wakes up early. Okay. Mehmet Bey never wakes up early. They come just before the verb. Okay. Ahmet always wakes up early. Ahmet, but they come after to be verb. Ahmet is always careful. Yes, these are very practical. You make a sentence by starting possibly, maybe, or probably, or surely, for example. Possibly, he is Ahmet Bey, who is coming towards us. Okay, who is that man? I am not sure, but possibly he is George. Okay, yes. Who is that man coming towards us? Okay, who is that man coming towards us? I am not sure, but maybe he is Joseph. Maybe he is Joseph. Probably he is Joseph. Surely, certainly he is Joseph. Okay. Dialogue 16. Possibly Ekrem will give you some money. What will he do then? He will visit his father. There are also close adverbs. Yes, relative adverbs with where, when, why, a clause and the main clause. For example, I can learn where she will go. Is it clear? With where clause. Where conjunction is a connector. Okay, I can learn it, for example. What is it? Where she will go. It is where she will go. Okay. I can learn where she will go. Who can learn when she will come? Murat can learn when she will come. Ali can learn when she will come. Ali can learn the result when she comes. Now, this is noun clause. We will study them in detail in advanced level. The first one, this one. Ali can learn when she will come is noun clause, but Ali can learn the result when she comes. This is adjective clause, relative clause. Okay. 7, the suffix ly forms adverbs from adjectives. You know this, it is very famous, like this, such as elderly, fatherly, motherly, friend, friendly, lonely, lovely, ugly, silly, become adverbs like this way, in an elderly manner. They are adjectives. Yes, they are adjectives, but they are specific. Sorry, yes, they are not adverbs. Elderly, fatherly, lovely. For example, Ayşe is a lovely girl. Okay, so Ayşe speaks in a lovely manner, in a lovely way. Okay, this is the adverb form of these adjectives. It is really important. Yes. For example, Yasin always asks questions in a friendly way. Adverb. So Yasin is a friendly person, adjective, friendly person. As is an adverb. Yasin always asks questions in a friendly way. This is really important. Adverb form of it is of the adjective friendly. Yasin, let me write the adjective form, is a friendly neighbor. So he always asks questions in a friendly way. Yasin is a friendly. This is not adverb. Okay? Although there is ly, it is not adverb. It is adjective here. Yeah. Friendly, lovely child. Motherly nurse, for example. Ugly, in an ugly way. Silly. He is a silly person. He speaks in a silly way. Is it clear? I hope it is clear. It must be clear. It should be clear. Okay. Dialogue 9, adjectives and adverbs which have the same meaning. This is also confusing. And both describe nouns and verbs. For example, best, better, yes. Big, cheap, or cheaply. Clear or clearly. Cold, deep, direct, dirty, dirty, early, easy, extra, far, fast. Arda is the best player, adjective as an adjective. Arda is the best player. Can't he play best? So have you noticed that there isn't the in the adverb form, okay? But there is the here in the adjective form. Arda is the best player. Can't he play best? Yes, he can play best. Okay. Who is the fastest player? Who can run fast? Nadir is the fastest player, but Murat can run fast. Okay. Is it clear? No. Who is the fast? No, fastest. Best. Who is the fast player? Who can run fast? Fast is yes. Fast is adjective. Who is the fast player? Who can run fast? Adverb. Yes, it is clear now. Okay. So Nadir is the fast player, but Murat can run fast. Okay. Now, there is no need to use but. Yes. Nadir is the fast player as an adjective. Murat can run fast. Yes, these are also possible. These are also similar to them. Fine, finally, free, further, hard, high, hourly, inside, kindly, last, late. Yes. Ahmet was late. Who, for example, Ahmet was late, adjective. Ahmet came late, adverb. Okay? Yes. Hardly and lately have a different meaning. Yes, hardly and lately. Hardly means almost not. Lately means recently. Larry buys and sells something lately, recently, these days. But he hardly earns any money. But he never, almost never, he hardly earns any money. He almost never earns any money. He hardly earns any money. Okay. Almost not. Okay. 10. Adverbs with two forms and differences, meaning, yes, they have two forms, but they have different meaning. Okay. Deep means a long way down. Deeply means greatly. Okay. Direct, by the shortest road, directly, immediately. Easy, gently and slowly, easily, without difficulty. Free means without cost, yeah, without money. Freely means willingly. Do you see the difference? Free has a different meaning, without any money. Freely means willingly. Full means exactly, full answer, for example. Fully means completely. Give, yes, full, exactly. Hard, intently, with effort. Hardly means scarcely, rarely, almost, never. Yes, almost not, almost, never. Okay, high, at to a high level. Highly here, very. Yes, highly here means very. Highly important. English is highly important. English is very important. That mountain is high, but that mountain is highly high, very high. Last last means after all other. Lastly means finally. Late, not early. Yes, you know this. Lately means recently. Near means close. Nearly means almost. It doesn't have a connection with near here. Pretty means fairly, prettily in a pretty way. Short, suddenly, off target, but shortly means soon. Jakub has high expectations. Yes, Jakub has high ideals, expectations, goals, targets. He always aims. Aim is verb here. He always aims high. He is highly enthusiastic, eager. He is highly eager, willing. He is highly willing. He is highly enthusiastic about his projects. Who is always late? Who always leaves the meeting late? Who has been cycling to school lately? Yes, Murat is always late. Adjective. Who always leaves the meeting late? Ahmet always leaves the meeting late. Adverb. Who has been cycling to school lately, recently? Ayşegül has been cycling to school lately, recently. Sure, you know this. Certainly, surely, without doubt. Wide means fully, off target, widely, to a large extent. Wrong, incorrect, wrongly, incorrectly, unjustly. You can find the answer for sure. You can find the answer for sure means surely, certainly, definitely, positively, without doubt, doubtlessly, absolutely. You can find the answer absolutely, or absolutely you can find the answer. Adverbs are used after action verbs, but after these linking verbs, adverbs are not used. Adjectives are used instead. This is really interesting. Yes. In a sense, after subject verb, if there is appear or become, get, feel, look, seem, smell, sound, state, taste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If there are those 9 verbs, we don't use adverb, we use adjectives, okay? We think them as if they are to be, as if they are, am is are, okay? For example, the building, we say this, for example, the building is cheap, okay? The building is cheap, just like saying like this, the building appears cheap. The building seems cheap. How many of them can we put here? Yes, the building looks cheap, seems cheap, smell, no, not smell, and appears, yes, appears cheap. We can use all 1, 2, 3 of them. How does the car appear? The car appears fast, for example, appears fast, or the car appears new, seems new, looks new, the car looks new, the car appears new. Okay. 22. Your jacket, for example, you touch something with your fingers and you rub it like this and you say, your jacket feels damp, okay? Your jacket feels damp. Instead of saying, your jacket is damp. Okay, how does the shirt feel? The shirt feels soft, for example. The shirt feels dry. I means I get that feeling. I get that feeling from the shirt. The shirt feels dry. The shirt feels soft. How does it feel? How does it feel? Or it feels soft. It feels soft is enough. Instead of saying it is soft, it feels soft. Of course, it is also true. It is also a true response. but we should learn this as well. Okay, now quiz time. Quiz of Tour 5, Trip 5. Question 1. The first bicycle is quite old. What is your opinion? Blank the second bicycle. Of course, we need about. Opinion about the second bicycle. 2. The chair is quite heavy. What's blank with this table? What's wrong with this table? Or what's with this table? What's with this table is also true. Yeah, it means what's with this table? What's wrong with this table? What's the matter with this table? Yeah. If something is tiring, what happens at the end of this situation? If something is tiring, we feel tired. Yes. These riders can ride these horses carefully. What can you blank about those riders? What can you say? Which one? This one, D. What can you say about those riders? My friend is eager blank questions. He can ask questions eagerly. How is your friend? How is your friend? Sorry. How is your friend? And my friend is eager blank questions. It's adjective to do. My friend is eager to ask questions. My friend is willing to ask questions. Okay. Yes, okay. In fact, Edward, this presentation is just like a vocabulary study. Okay. Now, let's go on increasing our vocabulary. Have somebody on. What does it mean, have somebody on? Have somebody on. As a phrasal verb, persuade someone that something is true when it is not true, usually as a joke. Sinan says that he will go abroad next week. Is he serious about it, or is he just having us on? Yeah. Is he just having us on? I don't think he is having us on. I am sure he is serious that he will go abroad next week. Okay, set off, this set off means start a journey. Yes, start to go somewhere, set off. Furkan will set off by car tomorrow. We will set off on motorbike. Jakub will set off on motorbike. Why do you set off early for the ceremony? I set off early for the ceremony because I was told to behave like this. Because I was told, or they told me to do this. A. Albert is very interested in fashion. This, in fact, do you see that, for example, there isn't one word, okay? Be interested in, yes, and be very interested in. We should consider it as one word. Very interested in, is very interested in. Albert is very interested in fashion. For example, Marco is not very interested in fashion. This is really interesting. Okay. And likes the very newest styles. Why isn't he interested in a trendy car? He isn't. Albert isn't interested in a trendy car because he is a frugal person. He is not a wasteful. He is not a extravagant person. Now, cutting on, yes, an interesting. Also means interrupt, okay? While someone is speaking, for example, you can cut it on. Or in general, This is the first meaning, interrupt someone who is speaking by saying something. This is the second meaning. To drive in, okay? To drive in front of a moving car in a dangerous way. Yes. For example, Selman often cuts in on Furkan while he is speaking. So this is interrupting. Selman often interrupts Furkan while he is speaking. Whom does Kenan usually cuts in on? Kenan usually cuts in on Yasemin. Okay, is it clear? Now, what does the gift say? Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt, but I have to ask, yes. Sorry to interrupt, but I have to ask. Serdar doesn't seem too sorry for cutting in on Mahmud. Who else is not sorry for cutting in on Meral? Melissa is not sorry for cutting in on Meral. Okay. Now this is the second meaning, the really dangerous, in a dangerous way. Cutting on a moving car. Yeah. Harry, simple past. Cutting on a red car, making its driver angry, of course. Yes. So Harry drove in front of a red car. Yes, Harry drove in front of a red car dangerously yesterday. Or by using cutting on, Harry cutting on a red car, making its driver angry. Did Tuncay cutting on a bus or a truck? Yes, unfortunately, Tuncay cutting on a truck yesterday or last Monday. Okay, thank you for having this lesson together. I hope it was useful. Yes, so we've had we've had a general opinion about adverbs and adjectives and verbs, of course. Yes. So see you next time. I wish you a good day.